What's going on, guys? David the Dead 13 here with something a little bit new. It's called the Beginner's Guide, and this was made by the guy or the people behind um, the Stanley Parable. I had brain fart there, but I really enjoyed Stanley Parable, and I might play that again because it's been a while. But it's something completely different. So we're just beginning the game. I have no idea what's going on. I just know it's pretty good. Please make sure audio is on. Pretty sure it is. Alright, fair enough. Just like every other computer game.
Hi there. Thank you very much for playing The Beginner's Guide. My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote The Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011. We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda. Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk around here, by the way. And mostly it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment. But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level. And of course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this? This is what I like about all of Coda's games. I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator. I want us to see past the games themselves.
Nope.
I want to get to know who this human being really is.
No, man.
And that's exactly what we're going to do here. So, it's 2008, Coda starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever. And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point, he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder. So, you know, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day, he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since. And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again. And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda. So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveywreden@gmail.com. Okay, that's about it for introduction.
Okay.
Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game. As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
Okay, this is not what I expected. Oh. It's very portally.
Warning. Whisper machine active. Ship destruction imminent.
This game is called Escape from Whisper, and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
That was a very quiet gun.
Security call breached. Hostile alien life form inbound.
No.
It kind of looks like this game was abandoned mid-development. For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere, but then clearly there are no enemies anywhere. You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets. But ultimately, we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
Enemy force neutralized. Begin ship evacuation.
I love how you can see the bottom of the universe from this room.
Yeah, that is the bottom of the universe. Oh, okay. Kind of speechless right now. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Apparently, this space station has a labyrinth on it. Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it.
Oh, oh. Damn it, I want to see if I can find it.
Okay, this is the part that's interesting. The game has this narrative about the Whisper Machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
Oh.
Hey, you there, in the engine room. You could save us all. That beam is powering the Whisper Machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If your body could stop the beam. It's so much to ask, but for all of our lives, would you do it? Could you give yourself?
I guess, yeah, sure. Ha!
Let me pause here for a second. What you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level. But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
Oh. Heh! Oh. Heh! Oh. 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 Hey, there's the maze. Oh.
The beam causes you to start floating. And this is an important moment for him. Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it. Like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
Okay. Are we gonna get like this Coda's guy's opinions? Ooh. Bricks! I can't move. Oh.
Yep. In this game, you can only walk backwards.
Ah! The past was behind her. That's interesting though. Oh, I can't even go straight. Ugh. But the future could not be
So
seen.
it's a short and relatively minimalist experiment combining motion and narrative.
Keep changing?
It is less
Or why does
advanced than the
future keep
previous
changing?
game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more complete. Coda's trying to give it a unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing
When she
trope.
stops and looks, it becomes clearer. Ha! But if the future is always behind her, how will she find the strength? Ooh! To confront it.
It's a short little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that.
That was an interesting
Which to me is why it
concept,
works,
though.
because it gets out quick. Okay, next one.
Ooh. Oh. Oh. You are now entering. What am I entering?
And that's it. Okay, the meaning of this game won't be
What?
clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
Okay, I'll play your game. Well, I am playing his game, but
Oftentimes, Coda would put bizarre titles like this one at the start of his games. I wish I'd known him at the time that he was making these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, like, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do?
Okay. Whoa.
Once you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens. So why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself.
Oh, okay, there we go. You walk around talking down to people in their hopes and dreams. Ah! You are a gate. A button you press to stop the chaos that doesn't work. Press U to surrender. Play as the camera filming an advertisement. Walking around.
A room that's warm and nice and filled with
a game where you have to
ideas
scream
for
into a
games.
mic for every 15 seconds to keep playing. Play as a pair of floating eyes emitting footstep noises.
Coda would often tell me that he didn't mind if people thought of
He
him
plays
as
a loud,
cold
bodiless
or
sound,
distant.
walking around,
He said that
confusing
he
people.
knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate person,
Press,
but that it
stand
takes
on an
time
exit,
to really see that.
staring at a bear for
It
3
can be a
hours.
very slow climb to get there.
You must address and rally a group of eager press reporters. Live on a boat, taking orders from the captain. The captain is always wrong. You can. I wanted to read them all. Those are funny. I'm probably gonna do like half-hour segments because it's gonna be like an hour and a half, 2-hour game. So yeah. Oh. Again, very portally. Hey. I don't know if this Coda guy
Well, this
is
is new for
real.
Coda. It's an actual puzzle. Go ahead and see if you can solve it.
I did it! Yay! Eh? No? Nope. Oh.
But forget
Haha!
that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon. We're gonna see it a lot.
Okay. This is interesting. Confusing. Very, very confusing. But interesting. Oh, hey there.
So that seems to be it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve the puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough.
Hey.
Alright, now I'm going to modify the game again so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
Whoa, whoa.
How about that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing. I actually find it funny that this game comes after the Stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So, in the Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world. Either way, I think that the point is the same. Is that most of the
Holy
time,
crap.
you don't get to know what you're missing. Or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player. So if your role here is
Wow,
not to
though.
understand, then what is it?
That was cool. Oh, hey, it's the spooky Thunder Forest thing. You are now exiting.
Aha. So, this, combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the Stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we
Okay.
can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
Alrighty. The Great and Lovely Descent. Ooh, that sounds oh. Hey.
Let's talk about video game development for a second. Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do. So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development.
Streetwise fool. Okay.
To make all of these games, Coda is using an engine called Source.
Oh.
Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors. That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well.
Oh, hey. Can't fall. I
The
don't wanna
tools
fall.
available to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You might
Uh-huh.
consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games to
Yeah.
notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
Here. Oh God, no. Oh God. Oh. It guided me that way. Okay. Well, here I am. Oh, hey, that is bright. Oh. Ah. I'm confused and a little frightened. Ugh. Alright. Oh, elevator time now. Oh, okay. Ah. Oh. Oh.
This prison, funny enough, in Coda's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour before letting you go. If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, we're going back down,
This is
I guess.
something that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can
Oh, it
get
just
through
went
it.
poof.
And I would always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else. Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere. There wasn't.
Okay. Here I go again down the spiral stairs. This Coda guy is weird. He's a weirdo. Hey, it's the thing again. Oh! Okay. Oh. Hey, it's that door.
It's the puzzle again, with the exact same solution as the last time. There's still
Okay.
no clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But I promise I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly.
So weird and bizarre. I'm sorry if this is like lack of commentary, but like just it's so weird. Like I lost. Oh, you there? Did you come from up above?
Here, Coda begins
What
using
was
a
up
kind
there?
of dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities. Use the 1, 2, 3 buttons on your keyboard to respond.
Yes, there was an enormous prison I spent hours in. There's through these floating colored blocks. 3. Okay. That's the world above! You've been there! Now, this is important. Did you have to get through a puzzle with 2 doors and switches? Yes, that was literally the last thing here. Okay. Again, perfect! Now please, tell us how you solved it. Tell us the solution. Tell us how to get to the other side. I don't remember how I solved it. I'm trying to remember, but I can't. Or, I didn't solve it. Someone else let me in. Or, trust me, you don't want to go over there. Well, I did solve it, so 3? Oh no, but I do. We need to get there. Do you understand? It is the most important thing in the world. We have to escape this prison. There must be an ending. I promise you there is nothing I want more. Oh, another door. Okay. Yeah. Wait. No. I suggest you go and see the puzzle sometime. It's not meant to be solved, but you can sit in the back space in the middle. What happens if I solve it? What if I sit in the black space? Who are you? Not sure, but if you have any suspicion, what you find won't be worth what it takes to. Okay, I guess I'm reading too slow then. Okay. That was weird. Do those six guys know each other?
Down to the final floor of the level.
I'd say though, this is cool. Whoa, that's bright. Oh, some kind of house, maybe? Plaza? Courtyard? Courtyard.
It's a lamppost. Okay, I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason, Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out. I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point.
There are no doors, it's just concrete walls.
He wants a destination, which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination. We're going to see it in the work as well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
Okay. Let's go! Alright, fade to black. Okay. This is pretty interesting, I gotta say. Okay, so we're in April. We were in this game is connected to the internet. As you walk around, you can leave notes. All notes you see are left by other players. Whoa, hey. Nice room. Not. Somehow I doubt it's left by other players, but that's just me.
So first off, I'm sure you can deduce this, but
How do
this
you
game
beat
is
this
not
game?
connected to the internet. All of the notes that you're going to see have been written by Coda.
No point to
This
this.
was actually the first game of his that I ever played. This was shortly after I met him at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up.
Whoa,
I
holy
saw
shit.
him working on this very level, and it was just so different
can you guys
from
hear
anything
me?
that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like, I have to be friends with this person.
Hello!
In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit
Reasonable.
too pushy, trying to get his attention. I was
Everyone read
over-enthusiastic,
this.
but he was very
Hey!
gracious about it and very patient with me. And
This
I
place
cooled
makes
off
me
eventually.
sad. Okay.
Oh, feel free to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you.
Yeah, well, they
Nothing
wrote
extra
too
is
much.
gonna happen if you read all of them. Either way, to me,
Hey, I
they
can
convey
type
a
here.
sense of loneliness. I
There's
see
too many
this
messages
person
here.
who's filled
Why?
with thoughts and
In a
feelings
world full of
and
notes, one
beliefs,
man will read all of
and
them.
has
This
no way to
summer, you will
express them,
believe blue speech
except
bubbles
as
can
scattered
talk.
and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant
Do you
to
feel
be.
like a hero yet? This game is no nice. I would like it when I could.
But it's ironic, isn't it? That in
Do not be
playing this
afraid.
game
Do care.
and seeing how alone Coda often felt,
Whoa,
that we
oh.
get to know him better.
Let's
and
stop
actually
flying
kinda
penguin.
connect
Let me
with him.
tell you, it was the most majestic
And I
thing
have to
I've
be
ever
honest
seen.
with you,
I
this
don't
idea
feel
is
like
really
living
seductive
because
to me.
nothing will ever be
That I
as
could just
majestic as I.
Play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the
Ah!
messy
Oh.
in-person socializing. I could just get to know you through your work. I think this is why I always liked Coda's games so much. Is because it felt like they let me have that
What the
connection.
shit is this cavern?
I felt as though he was inviting me personally
Ugh.
into his world.
And sure you
I
guarantee that
feel less
there's an
lonely,
acorn
too.
somewhere here in this place, and the sailors are looking for it. Okay. Let's just skip down here a bit. I need to go to the friggin' bathroom. Recognize me, please. I have noticed you. Senpai has noticed you. There's nothing here. Go back. Don't listen to that guy. Alright. Ooh. A free t-shirt. Need other side. Door, why you so? Someday I will meet the person who made this. Oh, hey. No room! Do you hear the chimes? They keep going, don't they? It's not very crowded in here. You can go in here, I think. Don't bother. Ooh, this is where I get off. I failed to write anything here. Alright, whoop. We're gonna skip through the... Whoa. So many. Hey, don't talk about me that way. I don't think it's going anywhere. I need to go... Yeah. Is this a note? Maybe. I'm not safe. So weird. So weird. It's so weird. Painting! What does it mean? Whoever made this has issues. Who are all of you? We all sometimes... Stop pretending you are other people. Devil Tower Star. He was, himself, the most horrible creature he could imagine. Well, I'm here now. We're all here now. There must be a reason for it, though. This terrible secret he kept so well. I beat the game! No, you didn't. You're right there. You're right there. More room?
At the end of this level, we're going to see
Scared
the
of
puzzle.
writing something. Don't
And
want to
here,
feel
I'll
judged.
tell you what I think the puzzle means. Each of these games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it. And the
He
puzzle
cut it up and
is a
spread
way
it
of
between
closing the
worlds.
door on a previous chapter of
Almost
his
there.
life before
I've seen
moving on
everything
to
and
the
traveled
next
to the
one.
world and never told anyone. There are voices now. Downward!
In each
Keep
of his games,
digging!
after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult,
Close your
Coda
eyes
can
and
then
wish for it
place
to
this
really
puzzle
end.
that he knows has a reliable solution. He
Almost
understands
at the
exactly
end.
how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on.
Does this puzzle have a solution? Oh my god, I've been here for like literally an hour. What's my help? Shit, how do you solve it? This doesn't make sense. The second door won't open.
And because there's this dark area between
Whoa.
the doors, a space between spaces, before you move on, you get to pause. Just for a moment, a few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here. To step back and connect the pieces together. To grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
One guy supposedly made it. Oh, his typewriters is like, how do you leave notes? Really? Alright, this typewriter gave me goosebumps. I'm not even kidding. This is so weird. Are you there? Please say something. It can be anything. I just need you to say something. Talk to me, please. Why are you having so much difficulty talking? Speak, 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 speak. Okay. Porn stars die too.
Okay, this one is tough. It's gonna kind of just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
Okay. Well, I'm going to end this episode here, guys. Tune in next time. We're going to have more of the beginner's guide. This is really interesting and abstract, and I'm kind of digging it. So, yeah, stay tuned for that. If you like what you saw, hit that subscribe button for more gaming goodness. I'm David the Dead, and I will see you guys next time. Have a good one, guys.